You sure? Okay.
You can't make Vitani do it, guys.
I'm already nervous as it is. Please don't make me screw this up.
Hello, everybody! My name is Jordan, and I'm here with four wonderful, awesome people, and we're going to play a game of Dungeon Crawl Classics Dying Earth. Just friends and me. So exciting. We're playing a wonderful game called The Sorcerer's Tower of Sanguine Slant. This is a Dying Earth level 2 adventure, so if you ever were curious about high level? I don't know. You know, that's a word that we use for Dungeon Crawl Classics. But we're going to play a level 2 adventure set in the Dying Earth. It's very exciting. We're going to go around and meet our players and see who they are playing. We're going to start with Chow Clips. Who are you? What do you do? And who are you playing in our game today?
Hi, I'm Chow. Chow Clips. I have a YouTube channel and I do art for RPGs, I guess. But I will be playing as Blobby Boy, who is a vat thing, created by Big Ben, the keeper of the exculpatory library, which is a real word.
Nice.
You know, gotta keep that Dying Earth vibe in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And they unfortunately have a bit of a visual problem. They suffer a visual overlay between this world and another world at the same time. So they see both worlds at the same time. And they suffer a penalty to anything that requires vision, which I imagine is probably quite a few things. They're also a bandit, so that's a thing.
Fantastic. And up next we have Vitani. Who are you? What do you do? And who are you playing in our wonderful game?
Hi, so I'm Vitani Maru. You probably also know me as Elena from Goodman Games. Other than that, I play a witch. This is the first time I've touched any of the Dying Earth classes. I'm kind of excited. Her name is just scared. Her name is Nina, and I like to think that she was locked away for a while in the woods to the point where she just really loved strawberries, and that became her favorite food. And now it's scarce on the Dying Earth, and she's gone kind of wacko.
I love it. And your character name one more time so I can write it down.
Nina.
Nina the witch. And then we have a gentleman from YouTube who's come over to play games with us. Mr. Bob, who are you? What do you do? And who are you playing today in the wonderful Dying Earth game?
You almost got it all right there. I'm Bob, and I'm a guy from YouTube. And that's what people are gonna know me for. If you want to watch my videos, type in Bob D&D or Bob World Builder. It's the name of my channel. That's how you'll find it. And I am today playing a character that I played, wow, almost 10 years ago. This is my first RPG character. Now reborn in DCC as a little level 2 guy. And yeah, so his name is Brahm. And I didn't know about the artist when I came up with that name. But anyway, the famous Dark Sun artist, Brahm. Anyway, yeah, so Brahm, he's a wizard. And he also goes by the moniker Brahm of Beasts because all of his magic is very flavored toward nature and animals in particular.
I love it. So fun. And then last but not least, Lex, who are you? Who are you playing? What's cool and new?
oh gosh, don't ask me that. I'm Lex from here, this channel. You can find me here. I also do a lot of other things. There'll be a link below. I do all sorts of RPG stuff. I am playing Jondu or Yandu, if you'd like. I feel like I want to do that like real soft J. It feels more Vancing to me. The Wayfarer. So I am a scallywag, just a roguish character who recently might have caused some moats to lose a bunch of corpses they were transporting, and now they really want me to replace those. So I'm trying to find some corpses here. That's my mission right now. Oh, and I've got a really nice hat.
Does it have a feather?
Oh yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So like I said, sorry, we are playing Sorcerer's Tower of Sanguine Slant, which is written by Terry Olson, a level 2 adventure in the DCC Dying Earth. I have it in front of me. This Actually, I've been really enjoying every one of the DCC Dying Earth adventures that I've ran, this is going to be the third one, but the first two were very fun. And all of you guys are standing right there in the grassy plains of Dying Earth, red sun in the air, and you're looking straight ahead. And oh my gosh, you were right. All of you standing at this very spot is a ruby quartz tower that has appeared out of thin air. The tower is said to be home to a vile magician, possibly long lost, and the tower appears every 2112 years and will stay for a full lunar cycle. Your research found that the last person to go in was a wayfarer named Mit Sendish, who went in looking for the coveted eyes of the overworld, which might tie into your character, Blobby Boy, because maybe this can help you with your sight problem. But the most prized possession to some of you magic folk and wayfarers who are looking for artifacts to sell or corpses to find is the one and only black Ioun Stone that is said to reside in this tower. Now, the tower floats mysteriously on an angle. It's like top heavy. It looks like it's about to fall, but it does not fall. The entire tower is made of a red crystal, and as you're staring at it in front of you, a red crystal door kind of forms on the front of this tower at the very, very base. What do you do? Do you go in?
The first thing is I can't even see this thing because the parallel dimension that I see is full of just red. It's a red moon, it's a red landscape,
no.
So I can't see the tower, unfortunately.
We are going to have some fun, yes. This is a red adventure.
Blobby Boy just right into the door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
just runs right into it. I'm good to walk right in. Why not? I'm in it to get that Ioun Stone.
I need my eyes. I really need to see properly.
You can hold on to me if you like. I mean, don't hold too closely, but you take my hand. That's about
Sure.
as much.
For those of you
I would follow.
For those of you who don't know about Vancian verbiage, an Ioun Stone is something I believe Jack Vance created, but it's like a little stone that hovers around your head. It's been turned into an item in Dungeons and Dragons over the years, but it can store magic and is overall very, very powerful. But I think it takes away memories sometimes. There's usually a cost to using it.
Do I know what the coveted eyes of the overworld do?
You would know that they let you see into another alternate reality. And so if you have both of them on, if you have two of these on your eyes at the same time, you can kind of see into an alternate reality. And I think your character would be like, I wonder if I just wear one of them, or maybe if I wear them as like bifocals or something, I can like.
So it's like
it might help me.
VR helmet, but I have two VR helmets on either eye.
Possibly, yeah.
That's what you're. Okay, I don't know if I want that.
Who knows if it'll help you?
But maybe it'll cancel out the
It
problem
might.
that's already happening.
Good.
Well, yeah.
those
If
3D glasses.
if Nena's just going right for it, I would follow into the door.
Same.
Awesome.
That's really interesting.
You walk inside the tower. The door is unlocked. It just kind of pushes open. It's crystal. Everything's like ruby quartz crystal. And as you push open the door, there's not really hinges. It seems like everything's just kind of connected with magic. And inside is a sparse chamber whose only furniture is a red-stained bowl that's atop of a granite pedestal. There are glowing scripts around the basin's edge that are kind of like pulsing rhythmically. And this basin is like, I don't know, it can hold maybe like 2 or 3 gallons. It's not overly huge, but it's just kind of a basin there at the top. But yeah, these words around the edge kind of pulse rhythmically like a heartbeat. And right directly above that is a 1-foot diameter pipe that protrudes from the ceiling with an opening. So it's either pouring something down or sucking something up. You're not really sure. Right now, there's nothing happening within this room. Everything is red. There's like red light coming from the outside as the red sun is hitting this red crystal building and kind of flooding it with light. So there are a vermilion light that kind of hits everything because of the semi-translucent crimson shards and shades that are flowing from the walls. And directly opposite of where you walk in is a door, but you see that there's this giant pipe that comes down and goes back up, and there is this red liquid that kind of like flows down into the pipe, and then it kind of goes back up, and it's just moving at a nice gentle It's a Small World ride, like just you're just kind
And
of.
it's flowing like around this door frame?
Yeah,
Is that
so
what
there's a pipe that comes down, and then and a pipe that goes back up, and there's just an opening, and if you want to get closer, you can inspect it for sure.
But the plinth is closer to us than that, right?
The basin is closer to you, yeah. With
Maybe
the
we
pipe.
should look at those manuscripts first.
Right, because there was strange pulsing words around this basin, if I heard
true.
that correct.
Well,
Do we
I mean,
recognize the language of
yeah.
those words?
Oh, that's a great question. You do recognize this to be the language of the 21st Aeon. It is not common, but it is in a language that a lot of you guys would probably understand. And it almost feels like an old English when you're reading it. And it says, "All give and be received." And as you're reading this and kind of examining it, you look around and there are some bones on the floor that are kind of hanging out. Not a complete skeleton, but a few bones. But the
I don't have
words
to
pulse that
cut
say,
myself and
"All give and shall be received." Yes, go ahead.
I don't have to cut myself and put blood in this basin, I hope. I mean, I don't know. All give and be received. 21st Aeon. Wait, what year is this taking place in?
It is taking place in the 21st Aeon. Yeah.
And this thing apparently happens every 212 years, I think you said at the start. So that... Okay. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, so I think I wrote it down. Specifically, it happens because it is a big number.
Yeah, was it every 2112 then?
Yeah,
Like the Rush album?
2112 years, and it stays for a lunar cycle.
2112 years.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Rush album? Is it? I'm gonna have to look that up later. Anyway,
Yondu is going to dramatically enter the room. He was waiting to make sure no one screamed from inside and that it was safe. So then he dramatically enters the room and he's like, "Never fear, compatriots, I have arrived." And then looks at the bowl and reads it. He's like, "Ah, of course." And he takes out a coin and drops it in.
Fantastic. The coin hits the inside, it kind of ding ding, and then you see it like and it like flies out.
He's like, "You
Is
see,
it
I've
now-
solved it." And then he just starts turning his attention to something else.
I look at the bagpipes. Is it flowing through the bagpipes now, or the pipes at the back of the...
Yeah,
edge
no,
of the
it
walls?
hopped out onto the floor, so it didn't actually go into the pipes, but you look over and the pipes are still doing their thing. Yeah.
Is the basin like complete? Is there any hole in the basin? It's just like
There's no
Is
hole
there
in the
anything
basin,
inside
but
it?
it does have a bunch of like red stains on it that you kind of look on the inside. Probably
Well,
like dried blood. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I cut myself slightly and go, "Ow," and then I put a drop of blood in there.
Okay.
I hope I don't have
You-
to deduct one hit point.
You cut yourself and lose 1 hit point worth of blood.
Oh, damn it. Damn it all.
And the blood hits into the basin, and as if by magic, it starts floating, and then it gets sucked up into that pipe very, very quickly.
I hope it doesn't need more because I'm squishy.
I think it just probably needs some from all of us, but it's like we don't know where this is going, or because actually, this is a
Yeah.
good question. Is the door that we can see in this room, is it an open doorway or is it a closed door?
Good question. You walk over to the archway with the pipes that are flowing down. It has a direct visual like up through to probably an upper level, but the walls are like super smooth. And this pipe kind of comes down and then it like moves back up. Yeah. And as you get a little closer over there, you almost feel like a small tug on your body as it's like, oh.
Okay. I want to very briefly just like take if I have copper coins, whatever my cheapest, coinage would be in this setting, and throw a coin through that doorway.
Yeah, you do. So you kind of flick a coin and it just like, it like hits. I'm imagining how magnets hit copper pipes,
Right.
where it's like, and it just slows down really quickly. So this hits that, and then it just kind of like slowly rises up. And you see it following the course of the liquid. And if you wait long enough, you do see it come back down on the other side. So it's not in the pipe, it's adjacent to the pipe, but it is kind of moving like an elevator.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well-
so if we set a torch on fire and put it in here, I wonder what will happen. Probably a bad idea, actually.
Well, are we all down for giving a little blood then, or do we feel like?
I feel like I already have, but the sunk cost fallacy is also a thing, so
Yeah, I just
And-
feel like this is a thing that if we do it now, it might help us later. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
All give
Nena,
and be received. We've kept coins and
you do realize as a witch that you could because blood and ritual magic and stuff, you do realize that you could convert this hit point into one held point of spell burn while you're doing the bloodletting. So
I'm down.
All right. Yeah, I'll give a hit point of blood.
all right, you do that. The blood goes in, it kind of magically, and then it's sucked up through the pipe very, very quickly.
I wonder if
will
blood
also
type's
give
better.
some blood.
Yes. Jondu Yandu gives some blood. It hits into the container, gets swirled around, sucked up through the pipe.
Does anyone know if the magician is also a vampire? Perhaps they're being donors. Do we know anything else about this foul magician?
No, the most you know is that this is home to the Black Ioun Stone. That's like the biggest thing. And the last person that went in, which would have been, a whole Rush album ago, that you would not know much about him, other than the myth is that he went in and never came back.
So Mid Sandish got sent in and never came back. That's the guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's all we know about him.
Yep, he
His
was a
name is Mid
wayfarer.
Sandish.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
The bones on the floor. Is there anything else other than bones? Is there like any kind of clothing or identification of
Yeah.
some kind? Maybe a fancy hat like our friend Yondu has.
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, make a luck check. So roll a d20 under your luck.
Got it. Yep.
Fantastic.
Got a
So, yeah, great. You find some like clothing, but like not a lot. And it's not necessarily ripped or shredded. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's very old and like disintegrated. You do find some coins. You find 10 coins. And they're gold coins. You don't recognize the minting though. It looks like these were minted like well before your era, well before the 21st Aeon. So collectors might pay more for these coins instead of just face value. You don't know.
So
Thanks.
I guess Brom and I have given blood, but
I think all of us have now.
all of us have?
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, yeah. So Nina, if you have also given blood, you can store one of that as a spell burn, which is awesome. So the magical script where the final person gives blood slows down, and it is it's just seems nice and pleasant here. Yeah,
Those hit points were well spent.
there you go.
Hmm.
What would
Fantastic
you like to
start.
do?
Now, I don't know. Do we go through this weird gravity door.
Why
I-
not?
Weird magnet
How
door.
how big is this door? Like I said, you said it like goes up kind of.
Yeah, it's
this
it's a door size, like it's an archway. Yeah, but it's like an inverted archway because the pipe comes down and goes up.
Right.
And you guys would like step into it, and then hypothetically, if the coin is the correct assumption, it would like raise you up, and then if you waited long enough, you would come back down and still be alive because the coin was still alive when it came down.
Oh, good.
So you know
Right.
that for a fact.
The coin was alive.
This is
All I can think
obviously
about-
safe, says Yandu, and then strides dramatically into the doorway.
Oh, fantastic. Yandu, you kind of, and then you just like, you turn back and say, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yep.
In typical Yandu fashion.
Yeah. Well, Yandu's made of pure copper, so if the coin was fine, he should be okay.
Mhm. It's true.
And you float up. Is anyone else going?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
follow. Yeah.
Is he floating? Is he floating kind of like the Willy Wonka room? Like, where
Oh,
you have to
is he
burp to
lifting
get back
drink?
down?
Yeah. No, because it's, well, sure. That's fun. I like that. So yeah, he's like, ah. And as you get higher and higher and higher, you realize this is like kind of a magical lift. And you reach the top, and Yandu, you can step out and get onto the next floor if you want.
Yeah.
In front of you, it is illuminated about the same as before. It's kind of this red hue, but you just see a long hallway and another one of these at the very end of the long hallway that look pretty similar. So, and then 2 doors in this area.
Yandu calls down to everyone. Hurry up, compatriots, or I will have to take the Ioun Stone for myself.
All right, I get in. I
Yeah,
get
so
in.
we're
You're
floating
all
along
one
this
at a
thing.
time floating up, and you come up to the second area. You're now on level 2 of this tower. And in before you is a long hallway. There is another one of those elevators where pipes of red liquid is going down and then back up. And on yours, as you step out, you realize that the pipe matches. So you have a pipe that goes up and then goes back down. So these are like a closed circular, My Little, what's the joke? It's a Small World ride of red
Right.
liquid. I'll edit that. It'll be funny in post, guys.
We'll fix it in post.
Nice.
Is there anything in this hallway besides the other elevator?
No,
2
there
doors,
are
right?
walls that are made of the same ruby quartz
Oh.
that are shining light. And you see a door on the north wall and a door on the south wall.
Oh,
Yeah. And then another elevator straight in front of you.
a minute.
Do we hear? Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, do we hear anything coming from those doors?
Oh, hi, kitty. Roll. I know it's not morning, but it is morning. Roll. Luck check. Roll under your luck,
Ooh,
Mister.
I rolled over my luck.
You rolled over your luck. You hear nothing. So
No
Brahm
cats.
is really like, there's not a lot of animals here. I'm out of my element.
Yeah.
There's like we're facing towards the west, right? And there's north and southern doors.
You're facing east. So
Alright.
you came out of the west and you're facing down the hallway. The other door will be the east. Yeah.
And there's like this closed circle kind of tubing at the end of it.
Yeah, literally the exact same thing that you went through. It's another one of those lift elevators that'll probably take you even higher. And if you remember from the image of the tower, it's at like a weird angle, so it's almost like you stair stepped up.
Ah. Well, are the doors, do they look like they have handles? You said like this place was mechanically
I did say
engineered.
those things. Yeah. Yeah, no, there are no handles on the doors, but the other one you knew you just kind of pushed open and the doors like receded in to get into the main area. The lobby, if you will, of this place.
Since it's made of crystal, can I see through it?
No, it's a dark ruby quartz, so you can't see through
okay.
it.
I want to inspect the north door, just for any signs of any writing, any kind of weirdness before I touch it.
Yeah. Make a luck check. Roll under your luck. Oh, and actually, you have that special deed die, don't you? As a wayfarer?
I have a rhetorical deed die. It's like a
Oh,
deed
that's
die, but specifically for when you talk to
for
people
social
instead of when
situations.
you-
Okay.
Yeah. I fail my luck check.
Yeah, it looks like a nice door. It is very quiet on the opposite side of that door.
Yondu turns back to the surprise and says, "Perfectly safe," and then not looking at the door, pushes on the door.
Yeah, it opens.
dramatically.
It opens. Inside, this is an oddly silent chamber. Both alien and familiar, says the text in front of me. The
Okay.
walls are simple stone. The ceiling and floor are crimson crystal, just like the tower. There are bookshelves lining the room, and lots and lots of books. But the uppermost shelves are not necessarily visible. You see that books and grimoires and stuff are like phasing in and out. So like there's a lot of books, and then there's these like top shelf books that are just like not quite in reality. And then they'll pop back and then they kind of disappear again. And the books here are made of various materials. You see like books made out of bone and flesh, metal, scales. They're all kind of flickering out of existence. And in front of you is a very large table that waits in the center room. And there are 4 chairs for all of these party members. And a distinguished man sits at the desk, and he has pens, ink, and paper. He has thin, dark, waxed hair is combed over his balding head. And his meticulous appearance is emphasized by a carefully trimmed beard and mustache, wrinkle-free, spotless black and white suit, polished spectacles. He looks at you and holds an index finger perpendicular to his lips and gives you like the sternest look, Yondu. And you hear in your head, not verbally, quiet please. Although you are guests, you must obey the rules. Let me know if you need help selecting a title. I recommend one by Padavona. And then he'll go back to his shuffling of work. And I have a picture of him that I'll load eventually. But yeah. And it's basically a library if you haven't put it together. It's kind of exciting. Oh, what did I do with it? It's okay. We'll edit it out. It's fine, guys. This is going to be great.
The magic of editing.
Yondu whispers.
In the room?
Well, to you guys, but he's whispering. It's like,
Yeah,
it
okay.
appears we have found the bibliothèque.
You hang on, let me get this picture.
You can do it, Jordan.
I know, I got it. It's good. We're awesome. All right, I'm loading it in Discord. So that is your gentleman. He looks very upset. You whisper in the room. Okay. Oh, why did you have to go and whisper?
I'm just about causing trouble. Let's
Make a will saving throw, please.
Yes. All right. You know what? I'm gonna, just because I want to use it, I'm gonna burn 2 points of luck. And when I burn luck, it adds extra dice.
It's a D7, isn't it?
No, it's it depends on how much you burn, but I think it's 2d2 for.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I really didn't have to because I rolled extremely well. But that's okay. Let's throw these on here. Where's the D2? That's D3. Okay. Yeah. So it's a total of 21.
Fantastic. So you hear or you feel like an intense piercing pain in your ears. And then you hear again quiet please in your head from the gentleman who's looking at you again like.
I think in my head, who's Padavona?
And you hear in your head, Padavona was a magician of wonderful, a very, very strong and powerful magician. And he wrote several books that are on the shelves if you're interested.
Is there a reason why you're kind of, popping in and out of existence? I think, in my mind.
Okay. And the rest of you guys are not hearing this, so you just kind of see Blobby Boy like communicating, like yeah. And he says, "It's to protect the books. They're very powerful, and sometimes they just need to be. It's difficult to explain to mortals."
Right, maintenance. I got it.
Seeing-
So
Sorry, go ahead.
So, is there any title that you recommend from Pedavona in particular?
Oh, yes. And he will look around, and he'll say, yes. And he'll get up, kind of walk over. And you see him like he's looking at one of the phasing books, and then and then immediately as his hand goes up, it like phases into reality, and he pulls it down. And he hands you this book, and it's called Refractions from Raindrops in Dimly Lit Areas by Pedavona the Stargazer. And I have a handout for you.
Seeing this silent communication between Blobby Boy and the librarian, I guess, Nina is just gonna kind of like look back and forth to both of y'all and just be like, "What?" Like in her head, just be like, "What are y'all talking about?" Like to the librarian.
Yeah, and he'll say, "You actually will all hear this in your head," and you'll all hear this in your head, and it says 1.25 indenture points remaining. And he turns to you specifically, Nena, and says, "I am assisting to get books that people request." But you hear it in your head. It's all very quiet in here. It's very quiet.
What are these points?
Oh, you asked that
Speaking
in
in
your
the
head?
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking in the
it's like-
mind.
Nothing to worry yourself about.
And
he kinda goes back.
Leafing through the book.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, you open the book. Inside is it's a false book. Has a gold cover, but it is not actually it's been the pages have been bored out. And inside is a rigid glass vial of dark red liquid.
I'm sensing a color theme here. I don't think that in my head, just in my real life head.
Your real life head. Okay, I can't punish you for that.
Yeah.
so. I'm not the thought police.
I guess I take it out and kind of show the rest of the party.
Okay. And he's like trying not to look that you did that. The librarian.
I'm like, ugh.
Is it a liquid that maybe we might know? Like, do we think it
yeah.
might be wine or
you as a super cool witch, you recognize it as blood immediately.
Okay. It's got that nice thick texture. Hmm.
And I mean, maybe A positive. You're not positive.
So
I'm here all week, guys. Try the veal.
just gonna skip right over that. So okay. Can we think to each other? I kind of want to test it out. I want to see if I could like talk to Blobby Boy and like ask like, may I see that? Like in my head.
Yeah. So Blobby Boy, Nena is looking at you and kind of like making all kinds of faces, and you're just like, you hear nothing in your head. So this is a funny scene as whatever she's trying to communicate.
I ask in my head, is there a group chat on this application, or like is it just kind of like private message? Do you have to use you as a proxy, or like how does this work?
I'm the steward, the librarian. I'm not a telephone.
I apologize.
And he goes back to reading and writing, whatever he's doing at his desk.
One last question: can I take this out? Are there like late return fees, or how does this work?
The books cannot leave the library. You can check them out. You can read them. But they must stay within the library.
Can I take a seat? And
yes,
maybe
absolutely.
reproduce properly.
Yeah.
I take.
And
a
as
seat
you take a
opposite-
seat, and you before you like can open the book, because he doesn't want to see you open the book. He kind of walks over and he starts like, I don't know, organizing a few books on the shelves and things like that. He has his back turned to you.
I do a raspberry at him, like like a really insulting gesture, but I don't think it.
Okay. You do that. Let's make that up. What is a really insulting gesture for the dying Earth of the 21st Aeon? You're like, I kind of do like jazz hands like this. Whoa. Yo, you kiss your mother with those hands. Oh man.
Is there paper and like quill pens or anything
There
of
is,
that nature?
yes.
I would like to get some paper and a quill and some ink, and I want to write out on a piece of paper and hang it up.
Okay, you do that. What does it say?
I'm writing it. Hold on.
Fantastic.
I'll get there.
Diegetic.
You guys could also use Discord if you wanted to, and then type to each other. That would be fun. Although that makes not for the best. Yeah. Hey, can I see that blood? She says to you in text. Yes.
I'm going to wipe off this quill pen, and I'm gonna dip it in the blood and get a new sheet of paper and see if it starts writing on its own. Because my idea is that this is magic.
Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, you uncork it. It's been sealed for a very long time. You take out some of the blood and start writing with it. It does not write well. This, although maybe magical in some way, it is not ink. It is blood, and it's not functioning like ink and things like that. So yeah. But what do you draw with it, or what do you write with it? Just like a little kitty. You're like, oh, blood kitty.
She's drawing strawberries.
Okay, yeah.
She's wishful thinking.
Yeah, it's not it's not operating like that. So yeah, you think you're on the wrong track.
I'm gonna taste it then.
Ooh, very coppery. Not the best. It's blood.
Yeah. I've done worse.
I write on a piece of
Lampoon
paper.
is not weird.
But like not actually writing on a piece of paper. I just write on a piece of paper in the game world and write there, those things that can't leave the library. It's in your body now. And then I think in my head, I asked the librarian, do you know Big Man, keeper of the I have to read this again. Exculpatory library. He's the guy who made me.
And he's thinking, he's like, I don't know your creator specifically. This tower is ruled by, you should have wrote down your villain's name, Jordan. That's what I'm telling you.
The Foul Magician.
The Foul Magician. This is just, they're all funny names. That's why we're doing this.
Damn you, Jack Vance. Why do you gotta make us do this?
Kolgut. Kolghut. So he says that he's never heard of necessarily your creator, but Kolgut is the creator of this, or the owner of this tower. And perhaps he would know your creator, as he tends to also dabble in that things. You seem to be kind of not all there. Mr. Brahm and Mr. Yondu, what are you guys doing as they're like communicating via ancient text messages?
Yondu has not realized that you can communicate mentally.
Okay.
But he does know that if you speak, it hurts. So he doesn't say anything to anybody, but he just goes over to the bookshelf and sees if he can take down a book.
Fantastic. Are you doing this stealthily, or are you just going to grab a book?
No, he's not doing it stealthily.
Great. He does have his back to you. Are you trying to get just a regular book off the shelf, or are you going for those sweet, sweet phasing books on the top shelf?
I want whatever book looks the coolest, which would probably be a phasing book. You know what?
Okay.
Actually, he said that the books couldn't leave the library, so that means Yondu wants to steal one. So he definitely is going to try and grab a fancy one sneakily.
Awesome. So, roll. Well, okay. So I'm going to say this. So you're going to go for a regular or one of the fancy books. And as you reach up to grab it, it is just like your hand goes through it, like you're having a hard time, like even touching it. And it's just kind of odd. And the librarian kind of stares at you like a little awkwardly and like rolls his eyes. And then why don't you make, you have the equivalent of a stealth check, I think.
I have pickpockets.
Yeah. So why don't you roll that to try and grab like a regular book?
Okay. Okay, I am going to use luck on that because that base roll is a 5. So let's see here. For a total of 15.
15. Yeah, that's pretty good. Fantastic. You grab a regular book off the shelf. It is The Many Adventures of Rialto the Marvelous.
My hero. I put it in my bag sneakily.
Okay.
All right. I would have initially been wanting to look for any books that might contain information about the Black Ioun Stone, but I get the sense that none of these books are really like titled like on their spine or anything.
No, not very. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you looking for yourself. You should probably use the librarian. I think that's why he's here. And so
Right. But and so seeing the, the gesturing between folks and then the writing on the paper, I would probably just try to like write a little note on a corner of one of the pages that was already being used and basically write out the question, where does the blood in the bowl downstairs go? And then show that to the librarian.
Oh, and he'll think for a minute and then look at you, and in your head you hear, I imagine to another floor. I can't leave the library. I'm not aware of this bowl.
Okay. And then I would
But I can help
think
you with
back
a book.
Right. So I would think back to him. Is that, and then like pointing at what Nena has, is that Padavona's blood?
I can't see that. I don't know about that. It's fine. He's looking everywhere except at the vial.
Right. Yeah. Why can't you look at that book?
I
Or
would
does
really
that
like to
apply
just
to
help
all
you with a book,
books?
sir.
How can you help me with books if you can't?
I can see the book fine. I don't know. She has whatever she has. That's great for her. So.
Okay. Are there any books in the Black Ioun Stone?
Thank you. He'll find a D8 at some point as he rumbles through his dice bag.
I don't know, you got dice in this library? Got everything.
It's got everything. Ugh, it could be anything in that library. It could be a boat. He walks over and he does another like, yeah. He pulls this book over. And he hands this to you, and it is called 4224 is the name of the book. Another Rush album by Ioun Stone. The cover of this book is adorned with a glowing red pentagram. And as you're flicking through it, the first half kind of detail a fictional life of some god kings from a long time ago that took revenge on a solar federation. And it says that this is going to repeat every 2 cycles in the stellar conjunction that occurs every 2,112 years. But as you're flipping through it,
literally, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Ioun Stone would be Neil Peart of Rush. So I think this is just straight up.
Oh, there you go.
Straight up.
Maybe the Rush album. I am not a Rush person, so this is hilarious. Oh, and then we used the poster of the pentagram, so that's funny. You're right. How hilarious. But the second half describes in detail how to cast a spell called Riddell's Pervasion of Incorrect Chord.
Okay.
Ioun Stone, aka the Professor, was more formidable when working with a trio. So as you read this, the spell gains bonus dies if you're around allies when you cast it. So.
All right. But I suppose I would need to have this book in order to cast the spell.
Yeah.
Right.
Books can't leave the library.
Books can't leave the library. Do I get a sense, and not to like, I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm asking like one more. Do I get the sense of what this spell can do? It was called Perversion of Incorrect Chord. So
Riddell's Pervasion of the Incorrect Chord.
Oh,
yeah, I have it. Let me give you a quick synopsis. So at its lower degree, oh my gosh, these words. An arpeggiated flurry of obstreperciousness. So you do some sonic damage as you create like a musical burst from an instrument.
Fair.
And it does minimum 1d8 plus caster level damage. Afterwards, the victim bleeds for 1d6 rounds until successfully saving versus a spell check. So,
okay,
it's kind of like a vibration effect that
like,
disrupts your innards and stuff. Yeah.
And I want to try something that might be stupid. It's probably stupid, but I want to basically be really leafing through this book so that the librarian will not look at me. And then I will write on a piece of paper, I'm gonna distract him. I then look into both dimensions at once and fill my brain with as much thought as I can, since I can see into multiple different dimensions and probably give myself a headache. Maybe librarian too. And I hope they pick that and just run.
I will say, as you look into multiple dimensions and really focus it on that, the librarian you realize is not human. He's like very super magical in some way. And also anchored and tied to this place. So, after he grabs you that book, I forgot to tell you, you all hear in your head, 1 indenture point remaining. I can taste freedom.
Okay. So So without saying this, in game, I feel like it's just as he serves us by helping us get books, he's getting closer and closer to being able to leave. So I feel like if we want to leave with books, we should just take them now while he can't chase us, I guess. But
I'm just imagining Braun like writing this all out in parchment really quick.
All I can think about is this is like going to be body swappers, where like
oh yeah, that'd be bad if one of
gets
us.
freedom, but one of us gets stuck, which is why there's the chairs.
I stand up from the chair.
Are there any doors out of this room? I meant to ask earlier.
No, it's just a closed room, and then
Okay.
just the one door in and out that you can see.
Since Yandu has the book that he took that is hidden on his person under his
Right.
cloak, he's going to like he's not even really sneaking because he's being too dramatic about it. He's like doing the big dramatic tiptoe steps towards the door.
And you do hear in your head, "You're not allowed to leave with books. The books remain in the library."
Oh.
But he's not making any like run towards you kind of a thing. So
I ram parchment people. Let's talk outside. This is kind of becoming a pain. And I step outside.
did you leave your books though?
Yes, I left the book. I left the vial as well.
You left the
because
vial
I
in the
put-
book? Okay.
I've left the vial in the book and then I put it back.
You can
Oh,
step
man.
out.
I step out and I'm like, oh man, I can finally speak now. And I kind of shout in. Wait, no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
probably. No, I don't do that.
Nena, yes.
Does the book disappear, or does the librarian have to pick the book back up and put it on the shelf?
He has to pick it
Like
back up
if-
and put it on the shelf, yeah. So
Okay. Before Blobby Boy walks away, Nina wants to take one more look at the vial of blood because
Yeah.
she knows that the librarian's not going to look at it. She's
doesn't-
been able to
doesn't want to look
notice
at it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. Is there any way, like, I can feel that this is magical in some sense just from writing on it and tasting it. Is there any way, like, as a witch or as a follower of Fampoon, could I like have some sort of knowledge that, like, okay, I've tested that it doesn't taste weird, it's not writing this way. Is there some other way I can use this to get knowledge? Because she's thinking this might either A, give her an extra curse or something, or B, that like this could lead her because she doesn't know what Brahm did. Like, so
Mhm.
she's thinking maybe this might be tied to Ioun Stones in some way.
The librarian very specifically brought this book out. And I guess with Blobby Boy outside, he's just like, yeah, apparently there's like a Padvona person, and like the book is by Padvona the Stargazer. You don't find any necessary use for it right now out of like it's just a vial of blood. But I'm trying to think of like I don't know, the librarian's acting weird. And like he very specifically chose that book, and he's trying not to look at the vial of blood. Like he told you the books can't leave, and he's very like, I don't want to know what you're doing kind of a thing. So but I don't think there's not a check you can do right now that I can think of that would just like unlock the secrets of the blood. If there are
Okay.
any. So
Then she wants to try and pocket it and leave since it's not a book.
okay.
Just the vial.
It's
yeah.
it's
So you
just a
close
vial.
close the book with the empty and kind of slide it back over, and you put the vial in your pocket. Yeah.
Mhm.
He is ignoring you, and you walk over to the door, and you're able to step out
Nice.
Nice.
with a
All
vial of
right.
blood.
I think I'm the last person in there. So what's the librarian kind of
Well,
doing now?
You and the Wayfarer are still there, I believe.
Oh, you're Alexa.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, knowing that he knows that I stole the book, even though I thought I did such a great job, makes Yandu so mad. He just dramatically takes the book out from his cloak, staring at the librarian, and then drops it onto the floor, and then stomps out of the room.
You see a big like eye roll as he like walks over. He's like, some people, and like picks up the book, and he like carefully places it back.
Wait, does he say
Okay.
that? Does he say some people?
No, he
Oh,
just
no.
does a good eye roll. He's like,
Okay. Well,
and
I
he turns to
think
you,
I-
and you hear in your head, Master Brahm, like, would you like any other books?
Um, Well, he already said there was nothing about the stone, right?
He did not say
So
that. He got you this book when you asked about the stone.
right, okay. So I think what I want to do is just kind of walk over toward the doorway, pretty much mirroring what Yandu just did. But rather than like setting the book on the floor, just quickly hop out of the room with it.
Oh, fantastic. As you hop out of the room with it,
Because what kind of DCC wizard would I be if I didn't try to take the spell? Like,
you hear him just like, no, and you all hear in your head like, the books cannot leave. A large, he kind of like does this, and you see all of these weird carnivorous snake-like creatures that kind of like rise up out of the ground magically, and there's a huge swarm of them as they swarm out to attack you, Mr. Brahm.
okay.
And that's where we'll cut and take a break.
Oh, nice.
Starting
Okay,
next
cool.
session with a giant fight. Stay tuned for more DCC Dying Earth action with our wonderful cast and crew. And speaking of our cast and crew, let's go through and talk to them. Lex, who are you?
I'm Lex. You can find me on this channel.
Woo! Chow Clips, who are you?
Uh,
And what cool
I-
things do you do?
I make art for RPGs. I actually did some art for Mutant Crawl Classics Adventure that's coming out soon,
Nice.
called The Mutants of Madness. But it's my first DCC game, so funny how that works. But yeah, I do a YouTube channel where I talk about RPGs and art.
Nice. Vitani, who are you? What do you do?
I'm Vitani. I do video production and editing, and sometimes stream on my own channel, Vitani Maru on Twitch.
Yeah, links all down below for sure. And last, Mr. Bob, who are you? What do you do?
Yep, I am Bob World Builder, and I have a YouTube channel about RPGs and stuff.
Awesome.
That's it.
And I'm Jordan. Hi, it's good to see you. Stay tuned next week for the exciting continuation.